I am a designer, an artist. The whole purpose of my life is to create and educate. This is something that I try to live by in everything that I do. My name is Darrell Anderson. I am a graphic designer and a digital photographer. And this is an introduction into how I got into what I'm doing and why I do it. So, this first piece is something that I did a couple of years ago. It's just my first introduction into digital photography and graphic design. I always knew that art was something that I wanted to do. And it wasn't until I got into high school and I got into college that I discovered the medium that I can use. I draw my artistic influences from many different places, but one artist that stands out in particular is Erte, the Russian-born painter and designer. Something I love about his work is that he was never afraid to push the limits and do something different. During the Art Deco period, this was the time that everyone was doing experimentation and decorating and, a lot of geometric shapes, and Erte's work really captures that. Erte's style is recognized the world over for its clean lines, bold colors, and ornate details. Much like Erte, I focus a lot on color and detail to make my pieces unique. This is a technique that I've applied to my portrait illustrations. For me, portraiture is a unique way of capturing someone's image, the way that it's presented to the world, and I think this is very important to understanding oneself. Most times, when the way we as black people view ourselves is put up against society's bias, the result is like a square peg in a round hole. Because of bias and racial hatred, many negative stereotypes of the black community arose from centuries of slavery in America. My current body of work is centered around identifying these stereotypes and their impact on the black community through digital portraiture that captures the views of society. My personal connection to this work begins with Trayvon Martin. Most people are aware of the Trayvon Martin case and the surrounding media coverage that happened around it. If you look closely at this picture, this illustrates exactly how assumptions and false judgments can be easily made when media bias and stereotyping are allowed to prevail. Now juxtapose this with these two following images of myself. This is an image of me at age 17, sitting in the bathroom, trying to have a very hard-looking pose, do-rag on, wave cap, making a very menacing face. Now, if you were to see this image as opposed to the next one, it's me, smiling, looking very happy, innocent, non-threatening. If you were to see these two images, if something as tragic as what happened to Trayvon were to happen to me, which image do you think the media would pick up first? The image of a smiling, innocent black boy, or another victimized racial stereotype? Stereotypes about black people arose as a way to keep blacks in a subordinate position in society. One of these is the brute, the animalistic and sexually charged black man. Perceived as unruly and menacing, the media's portrayal of Trayvon Martin falls into this trope, as well as this Vogue magazine cover of LeBron James, as it is compared to its historical context. The coon is another trope created to convey the idea of blacks as lazy, childlike buffoons, and it became a major topic in American pop culture, as seen by this songbook and advertisement from the early 1900s. Variants of the coon can be seen in the likes of rappers such as 2 Chainz and Trinidad James, who incorporate minstrel-like behavior in their performances and their song lyrics. Stereotypes concerning black women are equally as damaging and are broken into various categories. Two of the most recognized tropes are the mammy and the Jezebel. The black woman as mammy is servile and loyal to her white superiors, providing them a caregiver and a comforter. Though she is overbearing and stern with her white family, she is accepted by them only because she does not pose a threat to the social hierarchy. Famous mammy characters include Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind, Aunt Jemima, and the Medea character created by Tyler Perry. The Jezebel image portrays black women as lusty, sexual beings whose raw sensuality is meant to be exploited. This connotation can be first seen in the Hottentot imagery of the early 19th century, where the bodies of African women were put on display as sideshow attractions or for scientific observation. Moving into the 20th century, black women experienced increased marginalization and exploitation through various medium. The introduction of blaxploitation films in the 1970s showed the sexuality of black women in a new light. It is during the blaxploitation era that the transformation of black women from sexual victim to sex symbol occurs, which is both empowering and detrimental. Instead of helpless rape victims, black women now possess the power to use their sexuality to achieve their goals and gain power. This ideology still exists in today's music videos, with the introduction of the video vixen. Video models such as Buffy the Body and Delicious have made careers for themselves with their modern portrayal of the Black Jezebel character. Reality television shows such as Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and The Real Housewives also showcase black women in this manner, often partnered with the coon and brute stereotypes. Because of media representations such as these, the conversation regarding black women's sexuality has become increasingly one-sided. It is always refreshing to see change and diversity in the media. One popular culture figure that I admire for doing this is Pharrell Williams. With his YouTube channel, I Am Other, Pharrell showcases young African Americans in the fields of art and entertainment who are working hard to combat negative stereotypes of African Americans. Although we as black people have made great strides in combating negative portrayals of ourselves and our culture in the media, there is still little diversity shown. Typecasting and marginalization are still very visible in television and music, and my hope is this body of work will start a conversation. The questions of how comfortable are we as a race with what we see depicted about ourselves by other cultures and what can be done to change it must be addressed. And these questions should encourage the audience to be more engaged and self-aware.